Oh, my dick is out. No.
Hello, this is another episode of Black Afterthoughts. I am Taylor, and we have the crew, Marcus, Caleb, and we have a special guest, or guests, Raven, and this other brother from the Two Niggas Talking podcast, my brother, Quentin.
Hey, yo.
He's back for this fun episode. So we're going to start off with something a little light. First topic is, can your significant other eat off of your plate?
Man, hell no. And Raven, you muted.
Unmute yourself, old lady.
No, I don't. I don't like this shit.
Marcus, since you feel so strongly about this topic, you go ahead.
Yes, that shit is aggravating as fuck. I asked you what you want to eat. Get what you want to eat. Just because I know mine look good. That's why I picked it.
Amen.
I don't like that shit.
Just want a little of yours. Why not give a little taste test?
Well, if I wanted you to,
isn't that one of the topics?
You said what?
Isn't that one of the topics?
Yes, that's why we started. Can your significant other eat off your plate?
No.
Yeah.
No. I myself personally eat off my significant other plate. Not enough to where he'll notice the difference, even though he eats like 50 million damn things. Have you seen him? He can rack up a $40 bill at the Chinese spot and eat that by himself.
well, let him do that.
But
That had nothing to do with you.
Hey, Taylor, you not by yourself. I'm riding, bro, because I'm liable to dibble dabble.
absolutely.
No.
I'm liable to stick a fork over there.
Man, y'all need to learn how to take. No, y'all need to learn how to take L's. Okay, y'all didn't.
Nah, brother, you know me, Marcus. You know me. I don't eat them too well. They'll sit well with my stomach.
I'm cracking up.
They don't sit well on my stomach.
That's funny.
This right now. Don't
Hey,
touch my food.
Taylor,
What'd you say?
mute yourself, baby.
No, she good.
No, the other Taylor is muted. She popped on.
The other Taylor?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So we live, baby. We live.
Now,
There
Raven,
you
what you
go.
say?
Don't touch my
Hey, she
food.
had to come on. You just had to come be cute, didn't you?
That's the
Jesus.
word. Okay.
Unmute yourself. You muted. Unmute yourself. So we went ahead and we started with the first topic. Can your significant other eat off your plate?
Of course.
See?
Hell no.
Yes, is a
Thank you.
Why
Thank you.
that should be allowed. What do you mean?
Why, Caleb?
Over
Can
here.
your significant other not eat off your plate?
That is,
Caleb?
Man. You don't pay no bills? Actually, I should be eating off your plate. Since I bought the goddamn plate, I'm eating off my plate again. You ain't got no, you need permission to eat off your plate because I paid for it. You actually, I wish you would eat off my plate that I paid for, that I designated for my, oh no, it's a fight. It's damn near a fight. I got you a plate. If you wanted mine, you should have got what I ordered. Oh, I'm serious. It happens too often.
Raven, why are you raising your
It
hand?
happens.
that shit's funny.
Hey, but I will say, bro, hey, the fact that it still happens just lets you know, that just lets you know how much pussy is sour. That's all I gotta say on that. That's all you need to know.
So Taylor, why can your significant other eat off your plate?
Because I feel like if I'm with you, we should be able to share our stuff with each other. Like even right now. I want my boyfriend a t-shirt. We share. And it just makes
He
our
was
relationship better.
late for work because you got his t-shirt on.
You said what?
He was late for work because you put his t-shirt on. He needed a shirt. And you over here
That's
sharing
not
shit.
true. Sorry.
Yeah.
Raven, old lady of the crew. Why can or can't your significant other eat off your plate?
Because that's my damn food.
You.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes, my food.
Go down.
I'm dead. Y'all some selfish motherfuckers.
Good. Take these L's, okay? Listen, if you've never had the
Selfish
food,
motherfuckers.
if you've never had the food,
Selfish.
I will give you some of my food in order
Thank
for
you.
you to taste it.
Nope.
But you're not about to. You can't eat off of my plate. It's my plate. You got your own damn plate. Talking about your food look good. I know it look good. I got it.
Just a
That's why I ordered it.
You ain't divorcing your food.
I am not leaving.
Y'all horrible.
Damn.
Ain't horrible.
Horrible.
Listen, I'll get you anything you want. I'll make you anything you want.
Ain't no use in getting me what. Don't get her what she want. Just give her some of yours.
No, because I want what I
She's
want.
fixing the bill for no reason. Well, she just want to taste and she don't want to know.
Getting the taste.
Man.
You tasted the food. Oh, I've never had that. Can I get some? Yes, you can get a piece of what I got, but you are not eating.
Caleb face.
You're not sharing. No.
Marcus, the fact that you a chef talking about some you can get a piece. Just remake some more, Marcus.
I
Just remake some more.
will remake. Listen, I will remake everything. I will make you what I got. Do not eat off my plate. I will make you your own plate.
Off his plate.
Then you gonna be talking shit that you gotta get back up and remake.
I don't mind making.
Why
First
the
off,
bitch
if
you
I
got
make
maybe
food,
2 bites?
if I make food, it's gonna be leftovers. But just know, if it's on my plate, keep your fork away from my shit.
You in our house, that's our plate.
It's not
Hey,
in
the
my
only,
plate.
hey,
First off, who paid for
Hey.
the plate? Okay, and who made the damn food? If I'm on both ends of those right there, you damn sure ain't touching my plate.
I'm weak.
The fork. So let
hey,
me
the
get
only reason that reason that Quentin agreed is because his wife is the breadwinner. So it's actually her plate that she eating off of.
Dang.
Oh no.
Hey, brother, you can do what you want to. She can eat off my plate anytime she want to. You know what I mean?
That's actually her plate. That's why she eating off of it.
She can eat off whatever she want to. Because I can just go get me some more. It's no problem.
Okay, so continuing on the can your significant other eat off your plate, this next one is a big one, and I feel like this shit'll make or break a relationship. What's the time limit on leftovers in the refrigerator?
8 hours.
What?
What?
8 hours.
48 hours.
8
Yeah,
hours.
48 hours.
Marcus, you high.
Who
You
said 8 hours? Did you say 8 hours?
I used to be 8 hours. You go to sleep, wake up. First off, listen. If we going out to eat and you hungry and then you don't take
Let me tell you something. I slept for 8 hours. Let me tell you something. If I put it in the fridge, I got at least 4 days before you can smell it.
Wait a minute. Leftovers is lasting 4 days.
What's up, Caleb?
In your house.
I got 4 days in the fridge before you even look up and see what's under the foil. If you
4 days.
check it before
You
4
mean
days,
to tell me
4
that
days, bro?
leftovers from a restaurant, 4 days?
Marcus,
You get salmonella, E. coli, ooga booga, there's the maybe.
Marcus, if I brought some home, me and my wife go out to eat, and I bring some home, I got 4 days before she can do anything with it. If I ain't touched it in 4 days, have at it. But I need the hours.
And you your ass for no.
4 days, Bucko?
No.
That's a
And wake it up.
Nigga, that's an eternity, bro. I'm not waiting for it. First off, if the food is that great and then I was gonna make it home, I'm going to eat it later.
within the next 6 hours.
Let me tell you
I do
something.
not
You touch my plate, it's gonna be a fucking plate.
Oh, now can't.
Caleb,
But now it ain't touching the plate.
Oh, you can touch my plate if I'm eating it. And me can have at it. But if I didn't already packed up, put up, I'd have got the Tupperware containers. I'd have got my shit looking cute. Don't come over here.
Let me ask you. All right. Let me ask
4
you.
days
This.
is a long time to wait.
It is long. It's long as hell. Let me ask you this. If y'all are eating off each other's plate, where are the leftovers?
we're talking about the same instance. If y'all, okay, she takes a little bit, it's a nice little portion. You were like, cool, I got some lunch for tomorrow.
Let me tell you something.
Midnight, I got something.
The worst thing in the world is to have in your head what you about to eat, and then go in there and you ain't got exactly what you thought.
Say that. Yes.
What else is worse? Having your mindset on a plate of food, and you know you gonna eat every single bite, and you hear, "Ooh, that look good."
Well,
Back your ass up. Back your
you
ass
need
up.
you need to learn portion control. Let me tell you something. If I
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Back your ass
Where
up.
your clothes go?
if I didn't DoorDash at work, and you know what? I got about 6 slices of pizza at home, and then I get home and I got 4.
It's gonna get.
You hate to see it.
Hey, I'll put it like this. I'll put it straight up like this. You cannot eat my food 10 minutes out the oven, 8 hours out the oven, a day out the oven, 2 days out the oven. If it's my plate, I'm cleaning it. Let you clean it. I swear to God, we scrapping.
Oh God.
I swear to God.
Yes.
Wait, so that was my question to Marcus. Like, so how can, if I can't eat off your plate, then how can you just eat my food when it's been as a leftover in the refrigerator? That don't make sense. There should be some.
Make it make sense.
Glasses, bro.
Make it
Right,
make
there
sense.
should be that's like a double standard right there.
Okay, let me say this.
Make it make
If your
sense.
food is that good, right, and you just leaving it in the fridge, you disregarding the benefit of that good ass food. And I'm not about to let that shit go to waste. You understand me? You better listen. Food, good food is hard to find. Okay, if you take it home and then you leave it in there, I trust and believe it's up for grabs, and I'm taking it.
Now, Chuck.
Wow.
Don't you disrespect that chef by letting that food go bad. You ordered it. You better
not disrespect. Not disrespect.
disrespect
That
the
is
chef.
disrespect. First off, if Marcus makes food and I say that shit and somebody touches my plate, best believe the next time I come to your house and it's leftovers, I'm eating all that shit.
But wait a minute.
Your
How
face.
long are you letting that
Depends on who cooked it.
How long are you letting that food sit?
First off, I'm gonna let that food sit long enough to where the food that's in me can digest and get out, so that way I can insert some more. That's the only way it's gonna go. I'm not waiting though.
We can't save it the next day. We can't eat it tomorrow for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner.
First off, that is breakfast. What do you mean? Ain't if ands or buts about it. Shit, I'm not waiting. Like I said,
Depends on the cook.
if I can go to
It depends
at least
on
let
the
me go to
cook.
sleep, wake up, acknowledge it. Like
Hey,
if
he
I'm
said it was
sleeping,
8
you eat my
hours.
shit.
Marcus said you got an
He said
8-hour
it was
window.
8 hours.
Most people sleep for 8 hours.
Everybody go to sleep, wake up, get your food.
Who sleep for 8 hours? I'd be lucky if I can get 6. Shit.
Yeah. EJ work schedule be kicking his ass. Now,
Mine too.
He worked 12 jobs a week.
it depends on the work schedule. It depends on work schedule and who cooked. If Marcus was in the kitchen now, okay, wait a minute now. Get your own fork. He makes enough for everybody.
Absolutely.
But if we talking about the local motherfucker down at the Chick-fil-A spot, you know what? Have that nasty ass chicken.
First off, why you saving Chick-fil-A and trying to eat it the next day? That shit's
Jesus made that for that day.
Food. Meat made her baked beans. Still in there with the greens. Yeah, okay. Now wait a goddamn minute. Don't touch my food.
You guys will catch an elbow. 2 chops to the throat.
Absolutely.
2 chops to the throat.
DJ, you know, now it's a hockey match. Now back the fuck up.
DJ with the chicken.
Hey, that I'll still never forget that barbecue. That barbecue still touched my fucking soul.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Gratitude.
All right, we're gonna move to the next topic. So I'm pretty sure all of y'all have seen this post floating around where the girl pretty much is talking bad on the dude. Where is it in our group chat? Okay, this dude paid for my nails with a credit card, and I was so embarrassed. You don't have $100 on your debit card? Y'all keep saying he might be trying to build his credit, but my nigga credit need to be built before we get together.
He is an idiot. Number one, he shouldn't be giving her shit. Number two, on credit is actually better than debit. And number three, where they be finding these niggas? Because I want
You ungrateful swine. I just paid for your nails. Fuck you, mean?
Ungrateful
I
swine.
just paid for you for real ungrateful ass motherfucker. I just paid for your shit. Where's the money you had on the nails? You would have got the full set. You would have got your shit would have been 6 inches shorter than they are now, boo boo. You would have got the basic color. You wouldn't have got that extra finish on the top and the foot rub. Like, come on, you would have been out here rocking. You'd have been out here rocking yellow nails up top and white toes at the bottom. Come on, don't fuck with me like that.
Not the he called her a swine, G. You are the greatest of all time.
I ain't never in my life.
Got big dog.
You hear me?
Fucking swine. Yes.
I'm just saying she's ungrateful at that point.
Hey, yo, Caleb.
Repeat it one more time.
Right.
What you got, man? On the credit, swiping of the credit card for the nails.
Dude, she could fuck all that. She could use her boo-boo ass nails to reach into her wallet and grab her own card next time. There's no way in hell. Oh, word up to EJ, you can grab your yellow nails and get into your wallet. Oh, bro, there's no
With
way
your
in hell that I
$35
would let
set,
that
get the
happen.
fuck out of here.
one. You can use her cash app
Right.
card.
He say 35.
With your pig suit to match. Get out of my face, please.
First off,
no.
where your credit card at? What credit are you building at the moment?
Oh, spicy.
That's a good point. Quentin,
Huh?
what you got on the card situation?
Look, I agree. EJ hit that nail right on the head. You got me fucked up. Bitch, ooh, you know what?
No, he did. He let it out.
Bitch,
He let it out.
so you, me, I'll go right into that credit card. Cancel transaction. Then pay for it.
Fraud.
Oh, God.
Hey, we gonna
So,
go to US
yeah,
Bank.
this little culture swine
Can we
stole
figure out how to reverse this transaction in y'all system way somehow? Because this is not a legitimate transaction. This bitch got me-
Send me the debit card. Yeah. No, I don't know who that was.
Nope. Why would I go get my nails done? I'm a grown ass man.
Come on now, that wasn't. Stop playing. I was at work today.
First off, a clear coat don't even cost $132. What are you talking about? I was looking at managed mani-pedi. They cleaned my cuticles and gave me a foot rub, and they got out of there. Wasn't nothing more, nothing less. Like,
That
that's
bitch
$35. What do you
rubbed
mean?
20 minutes. She ain't fuck. That wasn't $100.
I'm dead. Tyler, what you got?
I wouldn't get no fucking happy ending. What $135?
Your nails, Bucko. We're not talking about a massage. We're talking about a full set for the pedicure. Maybe some little fish swimming around in the water, little cucumbers, a little lemon in it, something crazy, but not astronomical.
You ain't
Hey,
saying
them
nothing
motherfuckers be
about
massaging everything. Hey, they go pretty high up on your leg when they give you a massage. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, they do run up that calf muscle a little high.
Hey, y'all might as well get your motherfucking back of y'all knees cleaned at that point. Then whatever.
Where you going, EJ? They only touch the knee. Talk about they get high.
First off, the knee turns some people on.
The knee.
Y'all get turned on by kneecaps? Bucko, what?
We got women in the team. We got women.
Wrong way.
So when a guy is rubbing your thighs, it's like rubbing on your thighs, like at that higher part, so that don't turn women on.
I mean, yeah, but we talking about kneecaps.
Talking about knees though.
We talking about knees, Bucko. We talking about knees.
Don't act like that nigga hand don't rub on that kneecap sometimes too, motherfucker. You be like, oh, this nigga touching me.
Back of my knee.
Tell me you don't. If especially if it's a nigga you fuck with, he can touch your motherfucking earlobe. You gonna be, oh shit, strength. Stop playing with me, bro.
I'm dead. All right, we moving on. So we all consistent that this bitch is simple. We gonna move on from that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if everybody
the fit.
the live Instagram video from Megan Thee Stallion where she kind of talked about the Tory Lanez situation. Because before she's been real silent, very protective in a way, and not really saying too much about the situation. But now, since essentially being drugged through the mud, the Black people are coming up with all kinds of conspiracy theories as to what happened in the vehicle. She's saying that she did not touch him. She essentially wasn't aggressive to him in any way. And there was a verbal argument. She wanted to get out of the car, and he ended up shooting her from the backseat several times. She said that some of the neighbors ended up calling the police. So the police obviously came. There was a helicopter over them. That's why you kind of see her in the video where she's hobbling around with her hands up in the air. You know, they thought that she kind of staged that because everything happened so quickly. So the biggest thing is, as far as Black men, do you feel that Black women can be the aggressors in a lot of situations? Because that was the first thing that was kind of presented, that, oh, well, she must have said something. She must put her hands on him. You know, he a little nigga. So she probably said something that scared his little ass, something crazy, you know. And it just seems like that Black women just seem to be the aggressor in these situations, understanding the full picture a lot of the times. So, fellas, Black women aggression, Megan, Tori, however you want to use the explanation. Marcus, don't pull out that short man complex bullshit.
Listen.
I was hoping to say mega big girl.
EJ, you taller than Meg Thee Stallion. Caleb, you taller than Meg Thee Stallion. Quentin, you're taller than Meg Thee Stallion. Only little nigga here is Marcus.
Hey, but Tory Lanez ain't though.
Yeah, Tory Lanez is shorter than me.
Yeah, he like 5'2".
Exactly. Tall women, listen. Tall women can look aggressive to short dudes. That's why the short man complex is real. There are men who are angry because they short, and they can walk around mad. They're militant midgets. I don't like that shit because it gives me like a bad midget. I'm short, so all of a sudden I have to be angry. No, I'm not angry, so I'm laughing all the time.
Hey, Marcus, how tall are you?
He's the same height as me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh shit! I did not mean that.
That looks worse than what actually happened.
You stand up in the camera looking like Wizard Kelly. Like, bro, what the fuck?
All right. Oh, Maxwell looking at me. I ain't got time for you to play spin shit.
Corbin Blue over there.
I'm weak as fuck. Push it to the limit.
Dead as fuck.
Have to do some High School Musical on their ass.
Oh damn. Oh no. I hate.
Oh my god.
What the fuck? What kind of country makes your ass cup is this, Maggie?
And Lil Wayne would say, "Don't worry about what's in my cup."
And he just said, "Fuck it, I'm out of this."
Hey, look, you didn't have to stand up looking like Wizard Kelly. That was unnecessary.
He did.
I might be pretty close to the camera. That's all I gotta say.
All right.
You with shoulders and no head. They already said you look like Corbin Blue.
Bruh, I look like Corbin Blue. You got the hair more so. How do I look like Corbin Blue?
They said you don't turn this around on me. I have nothing to do with it.
Jump in.
Everybody in the group, you gonna call me Corbin Blue?
Oh, get him. Get him.
EJ for real.
Get them niggas. Fry them. Not me.
Hey, relax.
Oh, now you don't want to take accountability for your actions. They some bullshit. You gonna put me on the chopping block, and
I'm just over here smoking my.
I heard it.
So Caleb, not my fault.
That is hilarious.
Black women, aggressor, situation, fellas. Besides Marcus, because he got a short man complex. Moving on.
Oh man, that's the life.
Black women, aggressive.
You know, there's some, not all. Let me preface. Let me not get your big.
Yeah, before you say some wild shit like you say I do.
You're right. Some, not all, some women believe I can beat a nigga's ass because they grew up with brothers.
90% of St. Louis women.
Some women can be aggressive in that type of setting. What I think happened with Megan and Tory is she said something about his height.
It was Lil Wayne.
about how I could squat you, shut the fuck up, and you know what I mean. He felt the way.
I can squat you.
Oh no.
I think she probably told that nigga that I could squat you, lower your tone, and he got mad.
Maybe she flicked him in the forehead, told him to shut the fuck up.
Hey, let me tell you something. If she did that, look, okay, wow, hold on,
He
wait
did
a
one of
minute.
these in the middle of his. You can't.
No, what happened was that nigga was taking a nap and she was like, "Wake your ass up, Lucky Charms."
Hey, real talk, EJ a piece of shit for that.
Hey, no, she probably got mad through a tantrum, and she said that's adorable.
Oh no! He probably said he was swinging his legs in the back seat.
Hey, Marcus, what's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you, man? You can't say shit like that.
My God.
It's like, you ain't gonna keep playing
Are
me.
you-
I'm like, oh.
Hey, yo, Marcus, you wildin'.
What pissed him off? She was petting him. Hey.
Unjokingly, it's some women that puts themselves in the man's place. And like, oh, I can beat your ass just because they used to being around motherfuckers whose ass they can beat.
I will
Right.
say that until I got my ass beat.
Yeah. It takes one. It does.
Take
I'm
that
lost my only fight to a man. Taylor, you muted.
Yes, there we go. My bad.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. So for me, everybody that knows me, like for real knows that I'm aggressive, but I know my limitations. And I think that's an issue. Most people don't know how. Caleb, uncock your neck. Thank you, sir.
Ooh,
For me,
I'm not
what I'm gonna
uncocked.
say is, I just think that people don't know their limits. They don't know when to shut their mouth. They don't know when to sit down. But I don't think that was necessarily the case with Meg Thee Stallion. I think there's a whole lot of other stuff that was going on with that situation. But as for Black women in general, I think that sometimes people just don't know how to close your mouth. You just go a little bit too far. You ain't paying attention to all the warning signs because they be there. When somebody's getting mad, you see it. There's very few people that go from 0 to 100, like for real.
I come into a lot of people that go 0 to 100. I'm one of those people. That's why I be
But
talking.
you,
True.
Wait,
you
Taylor,
don't
are
have
you
no warning
referring?
signs
Taylor,
though.
are you referring?
You have like no warning signs whatsoever when you finna go 0 to 100. Most
It
people
depends on the
some type of
situation.
warning
It depends
sign.
on the situation.
We're talking about
Depends on the situation. Because Taylor, are you referring to Megan or are you referring to Tori in that sense?
Which Taylor are you talking to?
The one that you, Taylor Sykes.
You don't know my last name. Okay, thank you.
Jesus, government? Ooh. That hurts.
You asked me Taylor. Both of y'all got red puppy hair.
He clearly knows your last name. He just said it.
I'm the one that linked the Taylors together. Without me, there
Brother,
would be one.
take your credit, G. Don't let them discredit you. Take yours.
Absolutely not, Quentin.
My bad. I got caught up. My
How do
bad.
you want here?
I apologize.
Well,
Well, we
but Taylor, which?
you're acting different. Jesus.
Oh, that's
But Taylor, who are you referring to in regards to like, oh, they don't know when to catch the signs?
I was going to say, so the question was asking about Black women specifically, if I'm correct. So I'm talking about women in that manner, in that regard. Since we're not talking about the actual situation at hand, we're talking about just Black women. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've met a few females, and I'm like, you didn't see none of that? You didn't see them getting frustrated. You didn't see the inflection in their voice change. You didn't see the little head snaps. You didn't see none of that. Like you're not picking up on none of that.
Megan's
And you
defense.
wonder like, oh my gosh, why did this happen? Because you weren't paying attention. You kept going.
Well, in Megan's
That's
case,
my thing.
you didn't see his hairline melting, and he probably got mad.
Bro, hey, yo, hey, Mark.
You, bro.
You're about to be muted. He's talking crazy outside your neck now.
Listen,
Caleb, I want to apologize for coming at you the way I did at the start of this. Marcus, you are clearly the problem here.
Absolutely. He's on
I'm just saying, if you are arguing with somebody and then all of a sudden you got like all your points out, and then all of a sudden your Beijing start running like mascara.
Hey, Marcus!
Why is this man?
Listen, I'm not testing that dude. Fuck, he's shooting that girl in the foot. I'm sorry. Did he do something? What he did was
Time out. No, we not gonna skip past it. Did you just say? What did he just say? He
said the Beijing started melting like mascara, G.
That's what I thought.
Something's wrong with him.
Jesus.
I'm behooving.
He is on a fucking
brother, downtrodden.
I'm flabbergasted.
I'm flabbergasted, taken aback.
I'm ran amok. I'm definitely ran amok about that, boy.
It's not the part that behooves me.
I'm vexed. I'm vexed at the moment.
Brother, vexed as hell. Marcus, you out of pocket, G.
G, you're wild. You're wild.
I'm just serious.
Her Beijing start running like this. That sounds like a rap verse or something.
Running down to the beard. You disrespectful.
It's like the line when they do like this.
That's a barbershop secret. You can't be letting that out.
Boy, that's that Psalms 133. Hey, look, if you know Psalms 133, you know why that's funny. If you don't know it, look it up. I promise you, you'll laugh hard as fuck. Hey, that's Psalms 133.
EJ, you also are a piece of shit. You also.
Brittany, so you know the verse.
I hate you. It's how good and pleasant is it when brothers live together in unity. It's like precious oil poured on their head, running down on the beard, running down on Aaron's beard, down upon the collar of his robes.
EJ is also, again, Caleb, I do apologize for coming to you the way I did. I didn't know these two assholes was going to be a part of this here.
I'm certified, okay?
Hey.
This.
That's what you do, motherfucker.
Hey.
Psalms 133, by the way. Psalms 133.
All right. So we're saying it's not more of the blanket effect. It's more of like situational aggression. And depending on the type of woman you're coming in contact with. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
All right. This one's going to be another funny one. And then we're going to get to the serious one. The one on the topic of, can your significant other have an OnlyFans? Who wants
Fuck no, baby.
No.
Nah, I'm out of there.
No.
I'm gone.
Taylor, you want to talk first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Taylor.
No, hell no. I'm so sorry. Not a thing. That's mine only. I'm selfish. I know I am. It's cool. Nope. We good.
Did
Wow.
you die?
There's enough people on OnlyFans for everybody for the world to enjoy. They don't need you to. Sorry. Yep.
Taylor, it's funny because I know your character. It's like you say that your man can't have an OnlyFans. You will probably be the one in the relationship to have the OnlyFans.
Look, Marcus, look, wait a minute.
So where I pay, Taylor? Where I pay?
Look here, dagnabbit. I would not have an OnlyFans. I am very modest.
I'm saved.
In what
can't.
century?
What?
Huh?
Why you always lying?
And this one. And this one?
EJ, mind your business, bit off. You know what I mean? I'm saved.
I got you. Okay.
I already came back for my water. I'm leaving.
Hey, EJ, mind your business. I'm saved.
Clinton and your significant other have an OnlyFans.
Excuse me?
You can't bring them dollars to the crib.
Look, like Caleb said, she already the breadwinner. I'll be damned. Look, it's one thing for you to buy all the plates. I'll be damned you showing that ass all over the internet.
Hell no. To the no. Hell to the no.
I'll be damned. There be dudes, it be gifts all at the door because you had an Amazon wish list. Hey, get the fuck out of here, G.
Amazon wish list.
Hey, get
I can't buy you
out of here.
these motherfuckers and bought everything.
That means you took time to search through the perfect thing that you wanted on that damn website.
Man, get the fuck. Let me tell you something. She gonna
This is when
clock in
niggas search
every
something
morning.
and be like,
She gonna clock in when I do, and we gonna get off when I do. We not about to have We not about to have Rufus 9268 sending shit to this house. Get Rufus. Get the fuck out.
That nigga name off a players club. I always follow you home.
Right, I'm gonna just make sure you safe. Hey, bro. Hey, let me tell you something, bro. She real good on this side, bro. Get the fuck.
hey, Miss Lady. Hey, Miss Lady. Oh, shit, my bad, bro. I ain't see you right there.
Bro, I got the good AT&T insurance, bro. Get the fuck. You see the globe, Taylor. Stop playing. Get the fuck.
Caleb, no OnlyFans?
Look,
That nigga go here.
and it's not just because I have one, but I mean, the person express
Yes,
their,
Raven does have one.
yes, I do. And that person should be able to express their
Drop the
individuality
link.
feeling judged, and they're doing it.
Right. What's that? What you said? The link is what? You said HTTPS :// huh?
I hate y'all, yo. I hate y'all, dog.
They can be able to have it. You can even be
I hate y'all. Y'all ain't shit. I get to talk.
Hey, you know what?
Well,
If
she
you
got to pay
ever
us for
need-
advertising. Fuck that. I need my $250.
If you ever need an AT&T Connect, I just need the address and I can find if we got fiber in your area.
He is a fucking
Not fiber. Not
Look,
fiber.
I'm trying to get you these fiber prices, hey man, for $39.99. I'm just saying.
Raven, you
I
talking?
hate this dude.
Okay, let's
I hate
talk
this
about the OnlyFans, y'all.
what?
Now, what was you saying about your significant other or you being the significant other that has the OnlyFans?
For me,
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely let my significant other have a fans only because they're not being touched. They're not being touched or harassed by anybody else. This is them doing it by their own choice, and I would join in with them.
If they're being ogled is my issue. You can ogle with my wife when she got clothes on, we going somewhere. But you to ogle and know what I'm looking at?
All I'm gonna say is your wife below for a random nigga before.
It doesn't matter. That one nigga know. I don't need to work. I don't need to be at work. And I tell you, you can't get this iPhone. I don't need to be at work. And I tell you, your credit
Raven,
card,
we all got
you
a
can't get
pass.
this-
We all got a pass, Raven.
Once upon a time not long ago.
For real, we all got a pass.
Right, EJ.
'Cause I
But
could've
if I tell somebody they can't get this iPhone 11 because your credit bad, and you tell me, well, your wife bad, hey, bitch, what the fuck?
First up, that nigga disrespectful as fuck. How you know what your wife look like?
Hey, I know what your wife. Look, hey, I like that new Savage Fenty she got. Hey, bitch, nigga.
You said what? So what?
Hey, bro,
Excuse me.
Meet me in the grass, bro. We about to squat.
Do I got?
Hey, Caleb, he coming from the flow up, huh?
Oh, my department.
Right.
You can play with me.
I would say me, myself, personally.
You about to say some
Depending on
bullshit.
what
You about
it
to say some bullshit.
Hold on, because DJ has joked to me about getting an OnlyFans, but it's actually hilarious, and the shit is fucking brilliant. He said, you know that bitches like when niggas do domestic shit? He said, I will walk around with no t-shirt on and a tool belt, and I'm going to take the trash out. I'm going to clean the kitchen and scrub the toilet.
Look, EJ, I'm not buff enough. I'm not buff enough for that. I'm gonna look like a 16-year-old just taking the trash.
Man bend over trying to fucking mop the floor. You know how sexy that shit is? You know bitches will pay.
Hey, EJ, I'm gonna just look like a child taking the trash out. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna get no money on my OnlyFans.
Nah, it's some grown ass man. Someone that like little boys. That nigga name gonna be Bones Lovely 22.
Hey, you know what I mean? Hey, come get this skin. You know what I mean? That's all I got over here.
Skin.
Come get this
Hey, look.
skin. Come get this chocolate.
Take that shirt off. I got the Madden 21 for you.
Hey, Grandma, I'm hungry.
Take those pants off so I can give you an
No, y'all to the
822
shoulder,
credit
bro.
score.
I'm done.
Huh? I'm hungry. Look at that shoulder, malnourished.
You laughing, but they would pay for that. They would definitely pay.
Hey, stop playing. Stop playing with me.
Oh,
see-
yo, ass gonna end up on the
girl.
black market quick.
I seen this girl OnlyFans. Don't let me get 27,000 a fucking month. You motherfuckers will
Bella
never hear from me
got $1
again.
million in 24 hours.
You'll never hear from me again. EJ who? I've never heard of
I'm fucking dead.
it. Marcus and Taylor who?
$1 million
I was
in
never
24
on any
hours.
podcast.
Just showing some skin. A meal?
Marcus who? I've never heard of them. They're poor. I'm highfalutin. If I get 27,000, a million, girl, look.
I just want to break
We moving.
when I get paid.
We moving. Now.
You said what, Raven?
You make $250 in your first week.
You said first week?
Yeah.
How much? Look, let me get the OnlyFans.
All I'm
I got a tool
saying
belt. I got a tool belt.
Right. I got a hard hat for my old job.
I'm crippled.
It don't
I
matter.
got a hard hat.
Hard hat or hard hat and crutches, huh?
Hey Taylor, when I say it's a hard hat area,
I got a hard hat in my trunk from my old job, and I think I still got my little tool pouch. Huh? I got a socket wrench around here somewhere. Don't play with me.
Yeah.
hey, I got me a robe, and it's silk.
Hey, brother, you already out here. I'm what? Let them know.
Oh, there's a meeting in my bedroom having us.
No, it's somebody knocking the boots.
Hey, let them know, EJ. You ain't no rookie, huh?
I ain't new to this, baby. I'm true to this. Come on now. Hey, all players, put your pinkies up.
Well, I'm married. I'm gonna put my pinky down.
Time to weed out some of the players in here.
I'm gonna support you, but I got my pinky down because I can't. As Caleb said, my wife is
the knuckle for your past life because it's dead.
Right, there you go. As Caleb said, my wife is the breadwinner, so whatever she say, go. But I'm putting my pinky, but I support you. Black Lives Matter, huh?
Black Lives Matter. There we go. Amen.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next topic. This is more of our serious topic about the Jacob Blake shooting in Wisconsin. How do you guys feel about that situation? I know me and Taylor kind of talked about it, and not only that, but the guy that was arrested, the 17-year-old that was walking around with the AR-15, and for some reason got away from essentially the crime scene without being stopped.
Can I say something on that? I'm gonna say one thing, and then I'm not gonna say nothing else.
Okay.
Niggas can't ask for peace just until they change what. Don't sit there and say we want change, but you still out here doing the same stuff. That's all I'm gonna say with the whole Black Lives Matter. If you want change, to start with what you do in your family, in your community, and your people. Make a change, then you can request change.
Okay. Who wants to say something next? Caleb, you got anything, brother?
Regarding just the shooting, or
the shooting, because like for example, the 17-year-old that I keep bringing up, he was pro, police, pro Blue Lives Matter, pro, pretty much you having your own weapons, like everything that we've seen as a problem in society, he seems to side with those things. And he essentially got away to a certain extent. He got picked up today, or charged today with murder. But he essentially was able to come in, he was carrying this AR-15. Like there was no hiding it at all. He carried it like a purse into the crowd. He came from Illinois to Wisconsin.
Yeah, I saw that. The only thing I gotta say about that is Black people need to move smarter. It's cool to have a peaceful protest, but there's no change with peace. And so, we've seen it way too many times. If every protest is gonna be met with police that don't look like police. There's the dumbest thing you could do is walk in there with nothing on you. That sounds like some of the dumbest shit, and that's exactly why a 17-year-old can walk in with a gun and start spraying, and it's a big surprise. You just got to move smart. This is a time of war, and you walk into a war zone with nothing on you but a camera. That's some of the dumbest shit.
But the thing is, if we do bring guns, we just gonna see it as those typical thugs who always trying to shoot somebody.
Would you rather be judged by 12 or carried by 6? Pick one.
I'm gonna say this.
That's a good point.
I'm gonna say this. They are not shooting the thugs. Let's be clear. All these people they may be some real people. You know what I'm saying? There's no hole in their anatomy whatsoever. They know all things. They know what is important to them. They know their family. They know their values, and they know they got to make it home and support their kids. But they not in the streets. All these people they're not in these streets like that. I have yet to see a gangster get killed by the police and be glorified as it is, because they already know them niggas shoot back.
Absolutely.
They're going for the passive. They're going for the passive people, the non-threatening looking people. Yet their motive is he looked threatening. This man had nothing to do with that. There was nothing passive. There was nothing. They gave him no reason for him to shoot his ass 7 times in the back.
In front of his children.
Nothing warranted.
Holding his shirt.
Nothing was warranted.
And in this day and age, there's no way that you could try to save face and save, oh, I'm innocent, I'm moving right, and then keep your safety at the same time. In this day and age, it's not gonna happen. I do not see it. I've never seen it happen before.
I just honestly
I'd rather
the police. At this point, it's happening so often, and it's in your face. And I understand that you have a job to do, but at the same time, if that doesn't put you in the hot seat constantly to make you, if not more aware of what you're doing. Like, I just feel like we see it every day. It's all over the country. You know, you honestly don't hear shit like this happening in other countries. I'm just being honest. From what I've seen anyway, you don't hear about shit like this happening in other countries. Yes, every country has their thing, but as far as the police brutality that we are seeing here, I have not seen happening in other countries.
How, and this is just a blind question, how diverse are these other countries that you're mentioning?
It depends. Like, for example, Switzerland, with us, you only go to the police academy, 9 months? I think?
No, I'm talking about,
But
I'm talking regarding, I'm sorry, I'll let you finish, then I got it.
As far as like their diversity, I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I'm just saying as far as education and de-escalation in cultures and all of these things. For example, Switzerland, they're in the police academy for over a year. They're there for an extended period of time so that they take the time to break down these major topics, these major issues that they see in their country, that they see in other countries, so that they know how to address, different demographics of people. We don't really have that. We get the whole, oh, you want to protect yourself, you want to make sure you go home, you protect your brothers in arms, and that's pretty much it. My grandmother, who was a police officer in 94, was just explaining this to me. My grandma was 5'2", German Catholic white lady. She said, Taylor, they have been profiling Black people since I was on the force. She said, that's what made me leave. It's just like, if you know better, you do better. It doesn't matter if it's a job. You can honestly always get another job. It's just like you see it so much. You see this as an issue with law enforcement, and you are part of a community that is feared by the communities, the people that live within these communities and cities or whatever. Like, you're public enemy number one. So you would think, hey, I'm coming into a situation, I don't know if I'm gonna go home, but I wanna make sure that I go home and they go home, so me breaching from my weapon should not be the first thing. That's just me.
I'm gonna say
next, like, you can't do shit. You can't run out of gas. You can't have a flat tire. You can't be calling for help. You can't be the person in the right in the situation, because we've seen it done so many ways now to where nothing surprises us anymore.
I'll say that I can't speak on the history of the police as far as other countries, but in this country, the history of the police was to recapture slaves.
Absolutely.
That is the foundation of the police department. Now, when we talk about reform, we have to go back all the way to the beginning on why the police was created. Now, if they were created and to capture slaves and to kill those who are defiant, then by any means, that's exactly what they're going to do. I am not surprised about how the police have been acting in this climate. What I am more shocked at is that we still think that marching and protesting is the solution to this blasphemous action by these people who we pay to protect and serve, when in actuality we are paying for our executions. And I am sick and tired of paying for the execution of my people. Like, that shit is not fair. And I want all of us to be aware and protect ourselves by any means. And that includes the people who we are paying for. It's just like, if I'm giving you money, you're going to do your job and you're going to do it right. And if you think you're going to threaten me and take my life and remove me from this earth based off of fucking fear from your ancestors, you are sadly mistaken, because I'll send you right there too.
Taylor?
Nope.
I have a
Agree
question,
exactly.
Hold
You said Taylor?
Go ahead, Taylor.
So for me, I believe because Caleb and Marcus have hit on a similar topic at hand, which is like there's a time, right? And for me, I believe there's a time for everything under the sun. So if it's not the time for peaceful protesting, then what's it the time for? When you say war, when you say it's time to fight back, what does that execution look like?
No, I don't say it's a time for war. I'm saying it is a time for change. I'm not, if like we have been protesting and peaceful protesting for decades, and it has gotten us the bare minimum. The only thing that we're asking for is civil rights. We didn't even ask for equal rights, and they act like it is so hard just to be civil to us. We just want to be left alone. But but the police are not leaving us alone. I'm not for war. I'm all in for protection. Like, I'm protecting the women. Like, is it Breonna Taylor? And the protection of George Floyd. Like, them, I need them to be protected. I need the kids of, like, the next generation to be protected. I don't want a war. We're tired of the deaths, which is why I don't want to be disrespected.
So what does that mean, though? Because in all honesty, if we're talking about being protected, then that means that somebody has to fight back in some capacity, which is going to invoke retaliation regardless. So when you say protection, can you elaborate on that? What does that mean? What does protection mean to you?
Do what you got to do to get home.
Yes.
To me.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's going to invoke a war regardless, because that's going to insinuate someone retaliating. Look at what that young man did. Since we're talking about Jacob, he went into the midst of a crowd with a massive weapon because he was tired of us protesting. He was tired of hearing about Black Lives Matter. It was retaliation. So at that point in time, it's going to turn into a war regardless of how we feel.
Jacob was the black boy that got shot. The white boy that was involved. Let me find it.
Hey. Taylor, I feel slightly different about that because, hey, chill out. I feel slightly different about that because I feel like it is, I'm not even going to say a time for war, but it's just, you just have to have a militant mindset. There's no way in hell, like he said, like, marching doesn't get anywhere. Changing mindsets, we've tried every peaceful way, doesn't get anywhere by any means. What does protection look like is leveling up, because it's the same thing as, like I said, you don't walk into a protest unarmed and expect that you're not going to get harmed nowadays. So I mean, if you see it, then there's no way in hell that you should be able to there's no way in hell that you should not keep some form of protection on you, because that's how all the shit starts. If you keep seeing it but then you don't change, I feel like you took that L on your own.
The dude, the 17-year-old that shot the people in the crowd, his name was Kyle Rittenhouse. The dude Jacob was the one that got shot by police, which was the protests were for.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they were there for Jacob. They were there to protest on behalf of Jacob.
Oh, yeah. And then
so that's what I'm saying. So, and to both of y'all, that's what I'm saying. We're coming armed. We're coming protected. We're trying to get home by any means necessary. It's going to be the same cyclical. It's going to be the same cyclical nature at that point. Then, because granted, like saying in that situation that the people who got shot that night, who got their lives taken, they didn't have weapons and they shot back. You don't see how that would end up still resulting in an all-out war. It's going to be Blue Lives Matter versus Black Lives Matter.
I just feel like
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, there's no way around it at this point. Like, if you're talking about something has to give, this stuff isn't working anymore. The only alternative is the complete opposite, or the separation is going to continue.
I just feel like in this day,
the only thing that I gotta say to that, Taylor, is okay, you're talking to us. We get that. We've been peaceful. We've tried to give peace of mind. They don't get it. They don't change. They don't reap any benefits. So the only way to fight this fire is not by sitting, not by marching in a circle, not by protesting or tweeting. You're supposed to, if you get swung on, you don't march across the street, you don't sing and holler, you don't sit down and peacefully protest. If you swing back, they might think twice. But yeah, like you said, we've been peaceful, shit doesn't work. So I can't speak for everybody, but
it's kind of that mindset when you come in contact with a bully. It's like, yeah, the person pick on you, but when you finally fuck their ass up, you use them as an example so that everyone else leaves you alone. And I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that mindset, but that's how I feel with them saying, as far as like, essentially you got to protect yourself. You're walking in a situation where you don't know what the person next to you is coming with. Like, you don't know what you're going to come in contact with. So it's almost like it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Factual. No, I agree. My thing is, I agree with all of you. There's no division in this conversation whatsoever. Like, I wholeheartedly agree with you. I'm trying to figure out, like, what does that look like in long term? Because, like, hold on. Sorry, I was comfortable with my pillows behind me.
You good?
What I'm saying is this. So you get tired of talking. We're tired of talking. We're tired of trying to get you to see these things by us. For lack of better wording, we're trying, whatever. We're trying to be peaceful about it. We're trying to get you to see this. We're trying to convey a point to you without inducing physical harm, correct? That ain't working. So what I'm saying is, what does that look like long term when people do start showing up to these rallies, to these peaceful protests, to all these other endeavors, or just point blank period, rolling down the street, trying to get home, you driving your car, you get pulled over. All right, cool. You taking a run, you going on a job, you got your piece on you. All right, cool. Somebody try to step by you, you got your piece on you. Like, at what cost? Like, how far does it go? Like, what does this look like long term? Because eventually, like, all of us can't run around with a weapon on us.
Right.
All of us can't run around, and it's like it's almost that mentality of walking outside in perpetual fear, and then we're gonna end up doing the same crap that they're doing. So I'm like, my bigger question is, like, what is the answer? Which I don't expect anybody to actually answer that question, but, like, what is the answer? Because handling it either way so far has not provided us with anything yet. And I see it as if all of us start carrying weapons, it's going to inflate the problem. and more is going to be a whole bunch of lives lost on both sides. So what does this look like long term?
I feel that. I really do.
Know that there's more of us and less of them. That's first. But as far as everyone being able to walk around carry a gun, there's literally not too much stopping everyone from doing that. So if they felt like that was necessary, or we're at a point in life where all of us need to be strict, we could technically do that. You know, they say that we have these rights to buy weapons and bear arms and all this other stuff. Oh, okay. So if all of us on this podcast right now could walk around strapped. There is nothing stopping anyone from doing that. But I understand what you're saying. Like, where's the cap? Like, what stops it? What makes it different? You know, that part, I don't honestly, I know you said you don't want people to answer, but I don't really know the answer to that. But it's just like, it's kind of one of those evolving things. It's like, it's progressively getting worse. And it's more like now we feel to the point where we have to match their energy. Keep that same energy. You want to walk around, you want to kill us. You want to walk around with your hand on your gun whenever you approach us when we're being civil. Like, because now it's time to the point, like, all right, keep that same energy. So now if we come tenfold to you, you cannot be upset. But it's going to be to a point where it's more of us and less of them. Either they're going to quit or they're going to be, Caleb said, either you're going to be with 12 or carried by 6. You ain't got too many options. They're going to figure out that they're going to have to figure out something different. It's going to be to a point where they don't have a choice.
Because the only thing, I think I heard David Banner say this actually, the only thing that in this game of war that you will respect is either death or money. The Montgomery boycott worked not because there was no violence behind it, but because they lost money. But in this game, you don't respect anything because it's not your life lost. But I can bet money. You can bet money that if Jacob does some stuff, like Jacob passes or whatever, or even a Breonna Taylor, like, I'll put it like this. If somebody went down to Louisville, Kentucky and popped one of the 3 people that killed Breonna Taylor, I promise you might have a different outcome. There would be some bullshit on the beginning, like that might be the first person to crack down the door. But I mean, if black people were really respected in regards to, like, if you kill somebody, like if somebody's messing with your little brother, then like the big brother actually does some shit to you to fuck you up, you're gonna think twice. Some shit might change, but you're gonna think twice. Somebody picking on your little brother, you don't go in the next hallway and start singing. You don't go to the principal's office and if nothing happens, then that's it. You bust their ass too. That's how you get change and that's how you get respect. There's no respect there, and that's the exact issue.
Play devil's advocate.
I only have one issue with the analogies, and that's that in this situation, there's the option for people start acting out like that, people gonna start thinking twice. You're right, but when people think twice, they think harder, and sometimes that causes them to fall back, or sometimes that promotes them to come back harder and think twice to come up with a more elaborate plan. It goes one or two ways. You can't always think it's gonna go straight. They're gonna think, oh, well, I mean, shoot. It's not necessarily gonna always come off like that. Sometimes somebody gonna go back. It's gonna sit back and be like, you know what? Let me sit out and really orchestrate some shit now. Cause you want to retaliate in this manner. I got something for that ass. That's my thing.
And that's the difference. I keep seeing this one picture where it's like there are 3 or 4 lines of cops, but there are like hundreds of people, and it really is just like you said, cops as a unit, they're organized. The people are not organized. So like I might think like this, but then there's somebody that you are talking about, oh, when is it gonna end? There's another pacifist that's just gonna prey on it. There's somebody else that like might do some shit, but not really. There's somebody else that's just gonna record it. We're so unorganized. So I mean, yeah, me personally, there is no, oh, I'm going to protest. I just got a gun. So, I mean, and like I said, some people might think it's crazy, but I'll be damned if I get popped with my hands up. I'd rather get popped by a cop because I was actually reaching for my shit. So, I mean, yeah, to answer your question, no, like, it would make somebody think twice, but it would also, that's more respect than the shit that we're getting now.
I say this to play devil's advocate to the retaliation of the police. Their mentality going into our neighborhoods, their mentality is just like, man, these men have their hands on their guns all the time. So watch yourself. Like, they're on alert. When they walk in, their mental is danger and then protect myself so I can make it home. So they're already thinking of the fact that they may not make it home. We are not thinking like that. We are thinking just based off of the history and what was told to us. They are learning in real time what is going on. We are off of fear from the past, and then now the past is becoming the present. And if we do something, it will remain. It will keep in our future.
Like, okay, so Marcus, I get what you're saying. So in our past, we had our front men. We had our people that were on the front line that gave us, you know, that extra glimmer of hope, of care, of, you know, concentration. We had those front men. So when we were following Martin Luther King or we were following Malcolm X and, you know, Harriet Tubman, we all organized, but we had that front person that was able to help give us that structure, or at least say it that same way that the cops have. Because they have a rule book, they have a guideline, they have their, but we are just doing it and we're expecting each person to fall in line and be like, oh, okay, well, you did it, I'm gonna do it. No, just like Caleb said, it is a lot of people with a lot of different, you know, opinions, thoughts, ways, actions. So we can't say, oh, when is it gonna end or when is it gonna calm down? Because we can't even stick together. We can't come to a consensus and say, hey, we should all peacefully protest, because there is people that want to do it peacefully. Then you got those 5, 6, 7, 8 that's ready to lose their damn mind. You got those others that just don't care. You got them other ones that's like, oh, well, I'm really on their side. No, I'm gonna just cause chaos because it's all out here. Like, where are our front men? Where are our presidents that can say, hey, this is what we're all going to do. We're all going to get together. Can we make this happen?
I completely agree with you. But us not even organizing is based off our history. Let us not forget, you know, Black Wall Street in Oklahoma. We were completely segregated. They told us, hey, you cannot come here. You go to your own people and you get whatever you need from them. We had black grocers, black store owners, black doctors, black dentists, everything. They started losing money because of our dollar, which is why today our dollar is important. And then when they saw us organize and benefit and about to take over internationally, they bombed us. It is.
But why is it okay that when they finally, so like with the stimulus, they finally give us money or something, you know, they try to keep us calm, then we forget what the hell we were mad about for that moment. Like, why is it okay?
Not for nothing, they gave
No,
that.
Go ahead.
Marcus, I'll finish that for you. And the thing about that is, like, with Black Wall Street, the thing about that is, like, when the shit did pop off, none of the black people were on the same page. Some people tried to defend it. Some people ran for their lives. Some people played bitch. Like, there were so many different people because they didn't fall in line when all the white people were talking about was rage. And you could see the same thing with the cops, where it's just like, cops fall in line. Black people are nowadays fend for themselves and think for themselves and just their family, and everybody else has a different thing. So I mean, no, it's not. I can only think about myself and my family. So I know what I'm gonna do. I know how I'm gonna move. But I mean, to speak as a whole, that should've get you killed.
I think
And me personally,
they're not being those front people that we pretty much follow. Like we don't have honestly any Malcolm X's. We don't have any Dr. Kings. You know, we have people that are organizing like within their community, but we have no pivotal like civil rights individuals right now in this day and age. I just really
You got one. You got one.
Who?
Farrakhan.
Who?
Farrakhan.
Absolutely not.
Look at my face.
I don't.
The Honorable Minister
He's not.
is not it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I feel like he's very influential. Of course, being a part of the nation, the leader of the nation. But that's
I don't think I've never seen him on the front. I've never seen him on the front line. I don't know about all that.
I've never seen him on the front line either. I've heard him talk. I don't know if it's because he's physically not able to march or what. Because we see him standing on a podium on the worship services, but that's about as far as I've seen him on somebody's interview.
I say this. I choose Farrakhan over. I say this. I choose Farrakhan over Al Sharpton.
Absolutely, every day of the week.
Is he still on the black side? Let me just ask that. Is Al Sharpton still on the black side at all?
He's like Jesse Jackson.
Gotcha. Understood.
Were they for the struggle in the beginning? Yes. But like just like with everybody else, money talks, bullshit walks, and when the motherfuckers started being on somebody else's payroll, that's what made shit different.
Yeah. How is him or Bill Cosby supposed to help me? Fuck that.
Exactly. So that's why I feel like we don't consistently have those civil rights leaders that are willing to die for the cause. Malcolm X was willing to die for the cause, regardless of whether the nation backed him or not.
Yeah.
Dr. King died for the cause. You know, he was still in the shit with the death threats, with the bombings and everything else. Like, but the main thing is, I feel like with them, the government made them public enemy number one for going against the status quo.
Yeah.
For actually being the voice of the people, whether all of the people agree with what they were saying or not. Like, we all know that these conspiracy theories and everything else that comes up, who killed such and such, who paid such and such to kill Dr. King, who paid him to kill Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, all of these major civil rights individuals that we read about and we learn about, honestly, a lot of them are not even here anymore. And if they are, they're on coon shit now.
Right.
They don't move the way that they used to. Why? You see what I mean? So like, who's going to actually stand up and be those people? Like, they have no leader. And you know, most people need a leader.
It is pretty scary because it's just like, you'll see these influential people, but it's like, all you can do is really plant a seed because you're going to be gone. Like, they killed the Fred Hampton. They killed the Martin Luther King. They killed the Malcolm X. Shit, they killed Jesus. So, I mean, shit, all you can really do is plant a seed, man.
Right.
When you talking about that.
So, I mean, I struggle with that topic as far as what's the answer. But I do agree with Marcus, you know, as far as we just in a day and age where we have to protect ourselves, you know, and protect our own. Like, they protect their own, we need to protect our own. You know, it sucks that we have to move that way, but we've been put in a position where we don't have a choice. Like, you killing our brothers and sisters for nothing. You know, you felt threatened with no weapon. You felt threatened because of my skin. You felt threatened because of my presence. It wasn't because I've done anything to make you feel threatened at all. My existence threatens you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad.
I don't know. I feel like one thing that we can't, I'm not even going to say, if we're going to play the safe side and just keep talking, one thing I feel like we can do is just switch the narrative. I'm not even going to say switch the narrative, but like, we just got to make it completely black and white. And I say that to mean it was what? 3 white people broke up an altercation and shot Jacob. 3 white people broke into a house and popped Breonna Taylor. 3 white people ran up and choked out Eric Garner. You cannot call them cops because people have every different idea with cops. You need to call them what the fuck they are.
Absolutely.
Ignorant white people. You need to call them that because people have every fucking idea about a cop, and people think cops cannot do wrong. You need to say that Trayvon Martin got killed by a white person. I know that's not a cop, but I mean, even so, that just follows into the trend. Like, Philando Castile got killed by a white dude with his daughter in the car. Like, you need to start calling these people what it is. You cannot call these people cops because people have every fucking misconception about it. You need to call it what it fucking is.
I agree with that because every time that we're addressed in the media, we're addressed as black males, black females, criminals, savages, you know, thugs. We have all of these labels on us, and our skin is incorporated with that every time. But when it comes to white people and having to address their wrongdoings and be accountable for their actions, it's like a blanket of, oh, this 20-year veteran of the police department, you know, shot and killed a black male, you know, and it's just like, why are our accolades not displayed in such a manner? Why does our skin, you know, it's always seen as the negative? Why can we not address when y'all do this exact same things to us? You want to put these labels on us, you motherfuckers deserve your label too. That's one you can't change, because we can't change the fact that we're black. You can't change the fact that you're white.
You can quit the police force, motherfuckers.
But that don't get rid of the English.
It don't get rid of that.
And the gun on the table. That don't mean shit.
Right.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Caleb. So you said call them for what they are. And this is a question. So I can't remember which, because there's been a few cases where it's not only been white cops, it's been biracial and black cops also involved in some of these killings. So then at that point in time, are we still making sure that we're labeling them as well? Because it's not just white people making these killings. There are some people of color who are going along with the same statutes, the same things, acting in the same manner.
Spade.
I can't. You're not wrong. I mean, I can say for most cases that I would call it like that, but say it again?
No, I was gonna say in most cases it is a white cop, but there have been a few where it has been black cops involved in it too, or cops of other ethnicities for that matter. But continue, my bad.
No, because I mean, if you're gonna call it like that, I mean, yeah, you can call him a cop, but I mean, people don't respect that cops can do bad. That's just like saying if you remember watching Get Out and they made that big thing about like, oh, why is there an Asian bidding for him? It's like, yeah, there's more than just white people being racist. You need to call it exactly what it is. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Taylor, you just have to give me more examples because to my knowledge, I cannot think of black cops killing black people. Like, to my knowledge, I can't think of any that pops in my head.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna have to go back and do some research, and I'll send it to you personally because I can recall that there were some people, cops of other ethnicities that have been a part, because it's been so many killings at this point that we can't even keep up with all of them.
I'm gonna say this. Like, even at the cops, you know what I'm saying, who are, you know what I'm saying, who are not white and that know this shit is going on, they're not saying anything. You can call them coons and Uncle Toms and, you know, all the and the other shit. You know what I'm saying? They got to get their labels too. It's just because this affects them as well. There are cops, there are off-duty cops who get approached by police. And they get approached just as much as a Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Castile, like everybody, Alton Sterling, and it's just like you can't keep killing these people and thinking that it's okay, and then you sitting like on the sidelines, and this is your job, because at the end of the day, police, you in the cross. What side you stepping on? You stepping on the one that's giving you a check, or you protecting your family?
And that's why I was going off of like, keep something on you, or like have some form of protection. I'm not gonna go off the just be perfect and walk correct, because I mean shit can pop off with anything. So I mean, no, that's the thing. Because for example, of course something would be like, oh, the system needs to check itself. But I've also heard the system isn't broke, it's built that way. So if you see the cops aren't going to check themselves, somebody has to. But again, like I said, I'll blurt this out and there'll be some people where it's like, oh, cops can't do wrong. Oh, we're going to pray about it. Oh, I might pull a video camera out. Oh, it's like people are just so unorganized, shit isn't going to work. If you, like I said, if you get punched and you don't do anything, and you do everything but punch back, you're not gonna get respected.
And as far as the protests go, I feel like everybody protests in their own way. Some people, you know, better themselves. Some people go out and march. Some people walk around strapped. Some people invest in, you know, the jail relief. Everybody has their own way that they protest, I feel like. Some people are the protesters behind the camera. But like we were saying, as far as like some of the other podcasts we've talked about, everybody can't be behind the camera. Everybody can't be strapped. Everybody can't be at the house. You know, everybody has their role. And it's more or less, I feel like now it's just acknowledging your role and contribute. Because honestly, something is better than nothing. You know, like if you continue to accept what's going on, you literally do nothing about it. You make no type of investment in the betterment of your future. You're accepting and condoning what's happening. So I just feel like, yeah, we can all walk around strapped, but that may not be everybody's role. Not everybody got the heart to do that.
In that regard, the only way that I feel about, I don't feel like, only reason I disagree with that is because it might not be everybody's role, but everybody can be victim.
True.
So everybody needs to take those same precautions. Like Elijah, I know that wasn't his role by any means, but it probably would have been cool if he had a little bit of protection on him instead of him. I'm not gonna say instead of him playing like so victim, but I could just say more so it's like if he actually like, I don't know, man, it's just rough out here. It really is, and it's just rough as fuck here. I don't got nothing else.
It's like it gets frustrating because you don't have an answer. You have your personal way that you would handle it, but there is no overall solution to what's going on. And I feel like that's that constant thing that people are looking for, like what is the answer, so that they know exactly what to do. You know, we don't know what to do. You know, we comply, we die. We don't comply, we die. We try to keep ourselves out of the situation. We get put in it and we die. You know, we put ourselves in it, you know, feeling like we're doing the right thing and we die. It's like we damned if we do and we damned if we don't. So it's like there's no answer.
Yeah.
Like you can't, like people say, you can't even be in your own home. There's so many motherfuckers that died in their own home because motherfuckers that went to the wrong house, you know, in the front door, you know, for whatever reason. Mistaken identity because you don't look like you're supposed to live somewhere. They call the police and this shit goes left. Like there's no solution, it seems like. And it's starting to make people kind of hopeless and not have faith in you know the people that's supposed to protect them.
Yeah.
Yes, the original narrative for the police department back in slave time was of course to capture slaves and of course handle criminals and everything else, but like they have tried to switch the narrative as to what police are supposed to be. If that is what you want to do and you're wanting to switch the narrative, make sure you're being consistent with that and make sure that everyone is being consistent with that. And if everybody can't be consistent with that, then you can't get upset with what happens to you and what happens to those you know work with. We understand that not all cops are bad, but there are bad cops. And the ones that are holding those cops accountable, you see them most times not having their positions anymore.
Right.
Question. Using that logic, would you be able to flip it? And this is just me playing devil's advocate. Would you be able to flip it and say, oh, all black people aren't on the same page because when shit happens to us, not everybody is on the same page?
It's true.
Yeah.
Not everybody is on the same page.
And I will add this too. Not everybody's on the same page, but also people are not acknowledging other people's strengths. We're not all meant to do the same thing. We don't all have the same capacities for a reason. So it's more about being on the same page and also playing your role.
And that's what
We
I
all
was
have
saying.
roles to play, and if we are playing our roles, things go a lot smoother. But if you're not playing the role that you were supposed to play in the first place, because that was the capacity, this is what you were meant to do, then it's not gonna go right. Not everybody's meant to be on the front line. Not everybody's meant to be in the crowd. Not everybody's meant to be marching. Not everybody play your role. And that's us being on the same page. Like, have an actual conversation, come together, form these connections, have these conversations, and then, all right, we had this conversation, you doing this, you doing this, you doing this, now pull your weight and play your role. That's how you do this, because you can't build, it's just like building a company. You can't build a company with a whole bunch of CEOs.
Right.
It doesn't work. You can't build a company with nothing but workers. There's no one to run the show. You have to play your role.
Say that shit again for the people.
Marcus, go ahead.
No, I just said say it again. Go ahead, you good?
Nah, the only thing is, Taylor, you're absolutely right. But like I'm saying, on base level, if everybody has the green light in a cop's eyes, everybody needs to have a base level. And that base level is you need some form of protection out of you. That's the only reason why I'm saying, everybody needs to like get a gun or like have some form of protection. That's the only reason why I'm saying like, that's the only reason why I'm saying that.
I understand what you're saying, but Taylor said that before. Not everybody got that capacity. I legitimately know people who are afraid to even touch a gun, let alone to carry one, let alone to fire one. What you don't realize is you doing stuff like that requires a certain type of strength, a certain type of tenacity that you as a person have. But remember that there are people who just don't. So for those people, maybe it's more beneficial that you just not going out at all. Maybe that you're more vigilant about stuff. I don't know, but for them, they have to take different precautions, and maybe that should also be a conversation. People who can't handle stuff like this, what are we doing to incite ideas in their minds? Okay, you need to be doing X, Y, Z. Maybe you could try this. Maybe you could try that, because when I first held my first gun. Well, okay, I wasn't scared and I had fun with it, but also everybody knows I'm a little off my rocker. I kind of enjoy stuff like that. I like dangerous things. So that's me. But if you were to go and ask my aunt, if you walk into her house with a knife that's too sharp, she might pass out. She can't handle it.
Then to play devil's advocate, Breonna Taylor didn't have a gun. George Floyd did not have a gun. Philando Castile did not have a gun. Jacob did not have a gun. So, I mean, that's where I'm saying in this game of war, you have to recognize it and you have to come equipped. You might not have the mental capacity, but it just makes it even easier.
I mean, Taylor, I can understand what you're saying because, like, for example, me, yes, I've held a gun before, but I have never fired a firearm at all, ever in my life. So, is there a little bit of apprehension, about shooting a weapon? Yes. Am I afraid to? No. Because why? Because I'm at 9 times out of 10, if I'm put in a situation where I have to draw a gun, it's either my life or yours, and I would much rather go home. But then also, people are not properly being trained. You know, most people buying guns, they never been to a range. They don't even know how to properly clean and or load a gun. You know, we see all the time people accidentally shooting themselves. So we don't want a bunch of airheaded motherfuckers just walk around with a gun. Then we have bigger problems. Not everybody's going to take that responsibility. I'm going to go and I'm going to get trained. I'm going to have somebody teach me. I'm going to have, time at the range. I may go out in the country or whatever, to make sure that I have what I need and be able to work with somebody who's more skilled than me. Not everybody has that. So we got a motherfucker that's walking around with a gun. Like Caleb said, everybody should at least have something. Baseball bat, knife, gun, stun gun, taser, whatever works for you. Motherfuckers are not being properly trained on that shit. So Caleb, you come in contact with somebody that, they walking around strapped, but they don't know what they're doing. They feel intimidated by you. Normal male, you got your shit, they got their shit, they draw first. How does that feel for you? Even though that's not them, honestly, that man's role to be walking around with that gun because he too fucking scary to carry it in the first place, and he did not properly take care of the things that he needed to take care of in order to use it properly. But he draws first. You are a licensed gun owner. Been to the range, you know everything you're supposed to know. You get stuck in a situation with a motherfucker that don't know shit, but everybody got to walk around strapped with something. I don't feel like that's everybody's capacity to do that shit. I don't.
You got me there, but like I'm saying, in these scenarios, you got me there. I can honestly say I tread lightly when it comes to some people. Cops don't. So, I mean, I get it. You got me there, but like I said, with a cop who's already trigger happy in this day of age, I don't know, man. That's, like I said, you got me, but.
I don't know. I talk about it all the time. The last time we had this conversation about police officers killing people. And I know, Caleb, you kind of disagree with me when I was talking about that police officers are human as well. You understand, you told me that if you're in this position, you're in this job, you have all this training and everything else, fear should not be a factor in you doing your job.
Should not.
But if we know how we feel carrying a gun, that apprehension, that fear, that stuff, that's genetic. That has nothing to do with your position. That has nothing to do with your training. That's chemicals in the brain. That stuff gets triggered. You can't really turn that off. I feel like in some instances we take the person out of the position. And I feel like we need to acknowledge that too. And I think that honestly is a way to get, I don't really know how to say it, but like to get us to understand police, but then also police need to understand, on the other hand, yes, you get all these whole, you carry pepper spray. You experience what that feels like, so you're hesitant to use it. You get a taser, so it's hesitant for you to use it because you know what that feels like. But they never experience what it is to be shot.
And just to play off of that, if you can't do your job, if you don't have the mental capacity for it, you either don't get hired for the job or you get fired when you fuck up. It doesn't happen like that for cops. That's my only response to that.
Go ahead, Taylor. I know you want to say something.
I was going to say two things. One, this is completely off topic, but I just want to acknowledge the fact that Caleb said, you got me there. I haven't really ever heard him utter those words before. I just want to take a moment to
acknowledge. I feel kind of good, but I didn't want to be that person.
Yeah.
I was never wrong.
It felt warm, so I wanted to just go ahead and acknowledge this moment. It came
No, that's the thing. Because like I said, Taylor, you got me. But like I said, I hope you keep that same anti-triggerness when a cop is fucking with you, not when you see somebody that looks just like you and there's a misunderstanding. Gotcha. I hope that you keep that same trick, because like I said, as much as we might have a disagreement, I'd rather you get home than get popped by a cop who had some bullshit. So, I mean,
right.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, yeah, you got me, but that's not the point of this conversation.
No, I know. I want to put it out there. So here's my second point.
Big dog, because I had nothing bad going on for me. Because Caleb, me and you talk all the time, but I don't never get that. So I feel good about myself just a little bit.
I wanted to congratulate you.
That's not the point of the conversation.
Here's my second point. It's not the same thing when you're a cop and you're out there putting your life online every day. So this is my thing. I will be more perplexed by a cop that gets trigger happy and is excited about it rather than one that's fearful. And for me, it's because like people who have that reaction, they get into feels like that, they kill for the hell of it. And I'm not saying that's not what's going on now, but some of them are doing it because they are afraid. And this is a part that is a humanistic emotion and it comes out different ways. But until you walk a mile in their shoes and have to go out there every day, and you never know if you're coming home, we don't either. But it's different for them. They're operating in a different capacity than we are. But past that, That's a psychosis thing right there. Like that is a type of psychosis. If you think that it's okay to be trigger happy, you don't want somebody like that out there that's just out here just not fearful whatsoever. That's a little unnerving. That would make me very scared to have people like that on my police force. I'm just saying, sorry.
If you're going to give off the fact of, and that's the thing, because it has to go either way. If you're going to give off the, some cops actually do fear for their life, then don't be surprised when in court they claim self-defense. Don't trip off that either, where it's like, oh, you fear for your life and you acted on that. That's common sense. You fear for your life. That's not jail time. You didn't do anything wrong. You're going to blame it on that. Don't get surprised when they don't get a sentence. So you got to pick a side. You have to pick a side.
So here's one thing that I will say. This is a...
You can get fired, but no, don't take them to court and be like, oh, you murdered somebody, but, oh, you don't send somebody to jail because they fear for their life. So pick one. Which one is it? You can't have it both ways. You have to pick one. And I'm saying if you're going to play that role every day, fear cannot be that big of a factor for you to pop off. And then if it is going to be that much of a factor, you need to have some responsibility. But you can't play, oh, I got scared, or oh, I fucked up on the job and got scared with no punishment on the flip side. You can't have it both ways.
I hear what you're saying.
Dang it, I had a point and I forgot it.
Oh, side note about this 17-year-old, his AR-15 was illegally obtained. So that's one thing that we're seeing that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yes. And then not only that, I'm reading this thing by Sean King, and he's saying that this 17-year-old was front row and center at the Trump rally earlier this year. So it's a combination of things going on here. We got motherfuckers that's walking around strapped that shouldn't be. And we all know what throwaways are at this point. We do the same shit. This motherfucker walking around with a gun he shouldn't have. That's first. He's 17 years old. Technically, I think in Illinois, I don't know what their age of adulthood is, because in Missouri is 17. He may be an adult by the standard of Illinois. So then, of course, his influences with the whole Blue Lives Matter, with the whole Donald Trump, Cheeto Puff, stupid motherfucker. On top of, I'm pretty sure his upbringing was fucked up as well, to even make him feel like he was comfortable enough to do that. I'm not excusing it by any means, but at the same time, there is a lot of contributing factors to this.
Indeed.
Where somebody is not doing their job.
At all.
Mm-hmm. Hey, bitch! Girl, you fine. I see you in the camera.
I love y'all. I'm gonna be leaving y'all because I gotta finish dinner.
You good. We only have Marcus's underrated thought and then talk your shit, and then we're done for the evening.
Well, I appreciate y'all for having me on. I definitely do, and this has been great.
Thank you. Appreciate
We'll invite you. If you show up, you show up.
Right on. Oh, and side note, Paige is gonna be on some bald head hoe shit in like a couple weeks.
I'm dead.
Every day. Every day.
You cut your hair off?
Yeah.
What the hair?
I'm over it. I want to have my hair back.
Caleb, what you do?
Dang.
Hey, we cut off their hair for one or two reasons. Either a man is behind it, or we don't have no choice, or we on some women empowerment shit. What you do?
What did I do? Oh, she just realized that her curls couldn't compete with mine, so she gave up.
What?
Oh, hi, brand new.
Well, your curls
Look
can't
at her. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Say it again.
I said, well, your curls don't compete with mine, so when you going back to the even all the way around?
Shit, you beat DJ, that's why his shit is short.
You said what?
Are you gonna let me finish?
You said what?
Are you gonna let me? I will hang up right now. I said, you're not competing with DJ? So he's the short one. It's always a give and take.
Oh, DJ said, how did he get in it? DJ said, how did he get in it?
Because you're talking about a relationship that I don't care for. This is the relationship that I care for. And
it was a
you
joke.
can't handle it.
Sensitivity. Moving on. Underrated thought.
Sensitivity. All right.
I didn't say the other word. Then you would have been cussing me out on the damn Zoom meeting. So I went ahead and moved on. It was a joke. Marcus, the underrated.
All right, picture toes.
What did he say?
All right. Well, we've been talking about, protection and, what I'm saying, what we should do as far as, just within our lives, just trying to maneuver in this current climate that we in, and, and just my past week of just talking to people and stuff. I want to name this thought, know yourself. You know what I'm saying? Well, not necessarily know yourself, but I'll name it trust yourself. A lot of times we approach situations and then we kind of look for, other people to kind of guide us through our decisions, because we necessarily have never been in these situations, yet we understand that other people have. But we sometimes can get lost in the fact that we can take their choices and make our decisions based off the choices that they've made, yet they're not in the situation that we're in. And you are unique enough to know that God has blessed you with intuition. God has blessed you with your own brain and your own knowledge, and nobody can live your life. Nobody can make the decisions that you make, and nobody can live it. Nobody can do what you are supposed to do. But at times in distress, and uncertainty, we tend to make the decisions that were already made. Yes, that decision may have worked, but it worked for that person. If you feel like something isn't right and you're unsure what to do, but if somebody gives you advice and that advice may not seem right to you, don't ignore that feeling. Just trust yourself in knowing that you make the best decision for you. And if anybody has an issue with you making the decision for you, then you need to reevaluate who's around you, because the people around you are there to support you. They're not going to hinder you. And if you make a decision based off of what you feel, then everything should be okay. It's not necessarily a decision. The decision that you make is not necessarily to piss off everybody else. It's to just ensure your life, to ensure your peace of mind. Live your life based off of decisions that you make and based off of the choices that you choose. So you do not have to walk around feeling regret. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should have went this way. Maybe I should have went that way. You went the way that you wanted to go to. And just trust in yourself to trust yourself, to make the best decision for you. Your decision is not wrong because it is your life. You felt comfortable in doing so.
King Swall is on the podcast. He just didn't announce himself. Damon is here.
What's up, sir?
Why you turn your camera off, weirdo?
No, he's muted. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, muted. Cool.
He trying to unmute himself.
No, man, I just came in at the last second, man. Just got in the house, man.
All right, then. Yeah. Now we on the talking shit, though.
The struggles of black people. I said, okay, I got enough time to come in.
Yeah,
I'm
talking
ready,
shit,
man. I'm just catching on, man.
Appreciate
but
that,
I hear
man.
what you're saying, though, big bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now talk your shit though.
Yeah, man. I'm still listening now.
Or Marcus is kind of giving his words of advice.
Yeah.
So now we're to the Talk Your Shit segment where we kind of talk about things that didn't make the original lineup of topics. Does anyone have anything that they want to contribute to this segment? I do like that the NBA and the WNBA and these sports teams are standing in solidarity with those who are losing their lives or in some cases trying to recover from the mistakes of others. I feel like they're trying to do what they can, which is of course hit people in their pockets and hit them where it hurt, because at this point they've gotten their money. You know, they're working for an entity that benefits on making money. So it's more like if you lose money because I refuse to play, then I feel like that's a bigger protest, because we know that money talks more and louder than anything else.
It should have never started.
What should have never started?
The bubble.
Why not?
During this time of during this time of, you know what I'm saying, of quarantine and social distance, and then they're literally there to provide a service. But that service is at the, you know, expense of our people. We dominate sport. And because there is no sport and we're supposed to quarantine, it's just like they're losing money. It hurt them to shut down everything. But as far as the safety, yeah, you can't. I don't think that we should have sports right now if we're supposed to social distance. You cannot, you know, stretch the rules. They're not supposed to be a certain amount. You still can't have a certain amount of people gathering just in this quarantine. Yeah, it's okay as long as the people who are benefiting from it are making money. Like there's some, like most of the players that said I'm not doing this because of my people around me are catching it. It's like you can't do anything. Hell, Lou Williams got in trouble just for going to the strip club. Now he can't gather with the outside people, but he can gather with he can gather at the people at his job. Nigga literally went to the strip club for being hungry. So he said. I just don't agree with the whole sports starting back up. I understand that they have
the sports starting back up.
Wait, you were asking me? I was just making sure before I started talking.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with it only because I don't agree with that. I agree with the method on how they did it. If you think about the Simpsons movie, everybody that was stupid was in the bubble, and like the stupid couldn't get out. So it's like if you flip it, everybody went to the bubble, and since everybody was clean and they stay in that bubble, no COVID can get in. Like they're very restrictive on like who comes in and who comes out. That's why when Lou Williams did his bullshit, he had to do 2 weeks by himself. Given the fact that I agree with no off the oxymoron of like, oh, you don't want anybody to, you want everybody to social distance unless it's the people you don't care about, like some niggas dribbling the ball. But at the same time, they did it right. The players wanted it, but they did it right.
Don't they get tested like 5 times before they even play?
Say it again?
Don't they get tested like 5 times before they even play?
They get tested like daily. Like every morning, like when they wake up, they get tested. And like they get their results by the end of the day. But it's just like, again, if nothing's coming in, if nothing's coming in, the bubble did their job. The bubble did its job.
And that's
so, I mean, the execution was cool. And that's when you see where it's like nobody in the NBA has gotten corona. Like when they went down there, like everybody was straight. Like they took a couple weeks, like everybody's straight down there. And like that's a bubble. So I get the political move of not going in the first spot. I get the social distancing thing where like they shouldn't have done it, but they executed it perfectly. Can't get mad at that in my book.
Yeah. I see that.
When you kind of think about it, I feel like that's crazy that they get their results the same day, but us as regular Joes go to the hospital, you're waiting days, if not a week. I mean, I understand money makes your shit happen, but that's crazy that we the same motherfuckers that pay insurance, every month. We know we maintain XYZ. We go to the hospital just like everybody else. And we go get these tests done, and all of a sudden, because we're not walking around with the paper in order to make it happen within a couple of hours, we're putting more and more people just because we're not getting results fast enough.
And it's not even the money of like, oh, we're pushing this shit like of importance. It's the money of access. If you had a paternity test in your backyard, it would be just so easy just to go back and get it. So it's like they have things there where it's like they have the money like to have the test done right there. I highly doubt that they're sending them like across the country to get them sent back within like the same day off money. I really do feel like they get it tested right there to get the results for the end of the day. So yeah, I feel like that's the difference between that and like we were to do it here and then you gotta ship them to a lab. And then you gotta wait, and then the transit on some Drake baby shit, like, and you gotta get back, like, that's a whole process in itself. But no, it really is like they're doing it in house. Can't knock that.
I don't know. It just makes shit different. I mean, I understand the money aspect or the accessibility, but it just sucks that.
Yeah, man, it's some money that I'm not used to. I
can't relate. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in the media that I've seen that's more or less caught my attention. I don't feel that I have anything. Does anyone else have anything to add before we go ahead and wrap up?
Yeah, I want to thank Taylor for hopping on, Raven, Quentin, EJ, and EJ with his dumbass rope for hopping on for like good 20 minutes.
Kate, question. Should I save this picture that I put on Facebook and you told me to keep that same energy, or what did you say? You said keep that same energy or talk about it on the podcast, the pedophilia post.
I said keep it on the podcast.
I think I'm gonna use it as a topic, so I will save that.
You gonna do that next week?
Yeah, we'll put that for next week.
Hey, that's a good one.
About this quick one. I don't know if we even talked about this. If your wife touches these, you failed as a husband. The mowing the grass, the throwing the trash away, the pumping her own gas, to grilling her own food.
One is missing from that list.
What do you mean?
You're wild. You're wild.
No, I'm dead ass. No, like the sidewalk. If the man is not on the side of the street, yeah, that's an issue.
True.
But I wouldn't say you failed. I would just say it's just an upbringing thing. It's just like maybe he wasn't taught it. But then again, you got independent women out here claiming independence. So you can independently cut your own grass, pump your own gas, and top it on. Yeah. Everything that list says you can do.
I feel like because I feel like in a lot of instances, a lot of women are used to men not doing these things. That's where that whole chivalry is dead shit comes from. And it's like we have, in a lot of cases, we're put in that role where we have to do these things. It's not that we want to, or that we, or we're by ourselves and we got to throw away the trash. We're by ourselves and we got to reach for the door, It's like we come in a situation with some men, boys, so I don't feel like men do this shit, to where they aren't, like you said, taught those things. They aren't exposed to what it means to protect or supply for a woman or be a provider in any way, whether it be monetary or not. Hell, we know motherfuckers, all they know how to do is work a phone, roll a blunt, and fry wings. Like, they don't know how to do shit else. And it sucks.
That's that right there. I actually just had a conversation with this about that stuff with Ja, because I was like, he did something that was really, really sweet for me, that he really didn't have to do, but he did it anyways because it was something for my business that I really wanted. And I told him after the fact, I was like, I love when I get to just be dainty sometimes. Like, you just take over, and I like that's not an issue for me. Like, I enjoy that because it's like, go ahead.
You get
Assert
tired
your
of
manliness. It's not an issue for me on this end because, like, sometimes I want you to do that, but when it comes time for me to step up, do I have an issue with it? Nah, I still get it done one way or another. But I love it when you come in clutch and you do these things. Like, that's beautiful to me, and I love it. I enjoy it. Yeah.
The wording that you use, the fact that when you say come in clutch, I like that it's not a necessity. That if it does, like if you do it, like it does mean a lot more. I like how you phrase that better than just like,
Absolutely.
oh, it's a requirement off the rip.
It shows more. It shows a higher level of appreciation for what the man just did for you, and that speaks volumes.
Like, because you guys don't have to do these things.
Right.
You know, it's nice, you know, that you're being thoughtful and you're thinking of your partner or your friend or however you look at, you know, whoever you're trying to help as just doing it just because, like, that's how you feel as a person, you know. And I think that it's the thoughtfulness that's the biggest impact.
Yeah.
But to other women, it feels like a requirement.
What you say, Mark?
I said to other women, it feels like a requirement. Like, this man,
right?
Supposed
it's
to
like
do
the
this.
girls that want you to pay for everything and be, you know, that essentially walking money bag with ATM written across your forehead. And I've never been able
those are really old ideals, though. And a lot of these people have grown up with those ideals, and that's the issue. It's like, do I want the person I want to do those things as naturally? Yeah. Do I appreciate it? Yes, but that's the issue. People forget to appreciate when it's being done. It's just like, oh, this is what you're supposed to do. Why should I appreciate it? No. That man is going out of his way to do things.
In some cases, the man is making things happen and they don't have to make it happen. You know, and it's crazy how I feel like y'all don't get enough respect and recognition for the things that you do, whether it be small or whether it be extravagant.
Big facts.
You know? For example, DJ take the motherfucking trash out. I go to get ready to take it out, but he'd be like, I'll take care of it for you. You know, I didn't want to go outside, but I understand that this needed to be done. And the fact that he took the bag of trash from me, I'm like, okay, I don't gotta go nowhere. He wanted to do that for me. Why? Because he just didn't want me to do that. I don't have to when I'm with him. You know, I don't have to open the doors. I don't have to do too much. If I do it, it's because I want to.
Right.
Not because I necessarily have to.
And that's also the beauty in it, knowing that I can, but I don't have to.
Right.
Yep. And also, if we're gonna go off that logic, back in the the 50s and everything, when the man did pay for everything, women wasn't out, you know what I'm saying, with careers and and hobbies and stuff like that. Their only thing was stay at home, bear children, make sure the house is clean, and make sure dinner is cooked. And so if you want everything to be paid for, then if you want to go off of that logic, then we're going to have to go back to those days when I'm at work and you at home, and you not going to be out here gallivanting, spending all this money, going out, stunting on these other people who can give two fucks about you. You going to have these kids, and we just going to keep it moving.
Like Caleb say, if I'm paying for everything, I'm gonna act like I'm paying for everything. I run my house. I mean, like I get that, and I mean, I can feel like I can go 50 million different ways with that particular post. I don't feel like men fail because women do things. I think men fail when there's no effort of any kind. And I feel like that's just the only part that you guys could possibly fail on, is if you just blatantly just don't give a fuck. Period.
Absolutely.
You're going to do it, and you're going to do it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have to go because my phone is on 5%, and it never gets to 4 before it clocks out. So
we're wrapping it up. So you
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I will see you next week.
All righty. Appreciate you.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of Black Afterthoughts. I'm Taylor. There's Caleb, Marcus, and EJ. The last 4 out of the 7, 8 we had on.
Look, man, I was taking care of some business, man. I had to show up. Man. Y'all already said everything that was going to be said, so I was just like, I'm a support.
Man, what? Bro, what are y'all doing? If you don't pan the camera like y'all not in the same 5 square feet, what are y'all doing?
Nobody know that till you said something.
Man, look, I'm just
DJ,
man. If I'm here, I'm here.
appreciate
Support it anyway, man.
At this point, you made a bigger effort than EJ. So I appreciate you coming in.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Take care of your business, man. I appreciate you chiming in and just being a presence, man. So thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and wrap it up, fellas. All right, we out.